Hi, and welcome to this brand new video of the Target Individual Program, the Target Individual Experience. I just have to turn up the light a little bit. So I'm going to talk about my targeting over the weekend, the Memorial Day weekend, um, particularly today. So today, they were targeting me, sending me subliminal message, synthetic telepathy, as well as heavy remote neural monitoring within the home, and then using the police to try to intimidate me. That every time I pick up my phone, there would be a police siren. Okay, it's like instantaneous. And this is because today, I started posting on Facebook because I realized that again they were spreading their propaganda and their rumors, right, to discredit me, to villainize me, and so, you know, I have to counter what it is that they're doing because if I don't defend myself, then people are going to listen to what's being told, what's being said. Okay, they're not going to come to you as TIs and talk to you and say, "Oh, I heard this, I heard that." They're not going to do that, right? The PSYOPs program is to discredit you, so that if you come forward about being a non-consensual human experimentee, they will use, the mental institution to label you so that no one would believe you, right? That's the call, the discreditization of targeted individuals or a targeted person, or even whistleblowers. Whistleblowers go through being discredited, being villainized. All right, this is how they do these things. They lie, they create scenarios, they set people up, and because this is the U.S. government security agency, they have the resources, they have the technology, they have the ability to do all these things, and to make you and I, who are TIs, look as if uh, you know, we're bad or what have you, right? That's the villainization process, okay? Simply because, again, when we talk about being experimented on, no one wants to believe us. People will say, oh, that's your karma for wrongdoing, blah, blah, blah. All this bullshit that they tell you. And only poor people say this shit, right? To each other about karma and all this bullshit, because they don't talk about the karma between of these motherfuckers who's in the U.S. government, who are evil as shit, who have murdered people by the biggest mass murderers are those within the U.S. government and the security agency, the CIA, fabricating lies to create wars, to kill hundreds of thousands of people. Okay, so these people are the biggest mass murderers on this planet. All right. So anyway, so I was posting, a lot of stuff. Then all of a sudden, information. I was posting information really, and then all of a sudden, Facebook sent me a message saying that they're limiting my posts. Now I said that, but I couldn't tag anybody at my post any longer. Okay, because see, that's what they do to prevent you from spreading the truth, right? From showing people the reality, the truth of what's really going on. So one of the things that they were trying to send me subliminal message about. I was watching. I think I was watching. Was it a video? Watching a video, right? All of a sudden, I think it was on Facebook. No, it was TikTok. A TikTok video. All of a sudden, you had this woman with her daughter. Okay, then they started with the sirens. So I said, okay, So anyway, was on Facebook. I saw a post somebody made that says, "Teach your daughter to love themselves," right? And I liked it and I shared it. And then again, they started with the police sirens. So I said, okay, I understand what it is that they're doing. Okay, um, because you have to understand, and I'm speaking not just as a TI, but as a black person, as a black man, understanding the war on the black family, and understand the separation between black men and black women. Because you see, the U.S. government, particularly the racist U.S. government, the ones who have created a program to destroy black people, particularly black men, they don't want to see strong black families in mass numbers. See, they understand the power of having strong black families within the black community. They understood this. This is why after the civil rights movement, they made a great effort to destroy the black family. Because when you look at the economic engine behind the civil rights movement was the black family. okay? And the church. This is why black churches are so screwed up today. So anyway, so they were sending me all kind of subliminal message, right? So I was making a couple of posts, and I said to myself, and I made a post, like for example, this post here where I was looking at this article, and it talks about um, how social media, right? How the police, the law enforcement, heavily surveilling social media. But the thing is, whose social media? We know as TIs, our social media are being monitored. But me as a black person, I know that every black person's social media is being monitored. Okay? Because when you look at videos that you see these young black kids put out, the whether it's a fight they're having or they did something already and they make it, they put it out because they're just ignorant. The police will go and arrest these young black men and women. But when the police know, and they know, the FBI know, the CIA know, they know who these white supremacists are, and when they online posting threats about killing black people, they do nothing until after that person carries out his plans. Okay? Then they want to come and arrest this person. Remember, they're always taking a life, right? So earlier I made a post about that, and I said, and I made another post about how it always amazes me that you have these mass killers who are white, particularly the young ones, and the police always seem to take them alive. For example, let's look at the Buffalo incident, right, where the young white kid shoot up a whole bunch of black people in a right here, this in a grocery store called Tops, right? Then what happened? He's taken alive, right? So my post was like, look, white male, whether young or old, will seek to kill black people in masses, not because black people have done something to them, but because they hate black people and they've been conditioned into believing that they're losing grip, they're losing power in this country. And again, this is an 18-year-old, so what kind of mentality or what kind of thinking is he going to have? He's only been alive for 18 years. So it's not like he had experience with a whole bunch of experience, okay? These people are programmed. They are the martyrs of white supremacy. Okay? These are the martyrs, and their martyrs are always taken alive. Contrast this with Christopher Dorner, right? Who was a LAPD police officer. He experienced racism on the police force, did everything to discredit this man, everything, right? Because he was one of the good guys. He speak out against the violation of citizens' rights and stuff like that by the police. And so they ostracized him. So in return, he took his frustration and anger out on the very same institution that he worked in, that he knew firsthand about the racism, the exploitation, the mass incarceration of innocent black people. So he knew about those things. Okay? Contrast this to white supremacists killing black people in mass. They just hate us. Period. So there's a difference when a black person go out there, and a black person would never go into a supermarket and shoot white people. We're not going to do that. Okay? We had probably one incident of that, which was in the 90s with what's his name? I forgot the guy's name. What have you? On the Long Island Railroad. Okay? And white people lose their shit. When white supremacists go into churches, schools, grocery stores, shoot up black people, that we don't lose that shit. We've been conditioned to forgive. We've been conditioned to not be outraged. Okay? So we get on TV, we post this, we post that. But nothing. So I understand the truth that those within, and I talk about law enforcement being, well, we know that law enforcement is a white supremacist agency. They are the biggest criminals. They are the biggest drug dealers. They are the biggest rapists. They are the biggest domestic abusers. They are the biggest pedophiles. They are the biggest thieves, the biggest liars. Okay. And so all this, they're posting the stuff, and they're just doing the firework, but it's not like they let celebrating 4th of July or anything like that. It's that every once in a while, when I post something and I guess they don't like, they'll set off a firecracker, right? To simulate a gunshot. Okay. Then, um, what else? Let's just keep remember. I'm so tired. It's just like it's really ridiculous, right? That shit is like, your nerve is just, you know, from dealing with this shit day in and day out. So I posted this article about Pat Tillman, right, who was given the Distinguished Medal of Honor award. But and again, tell you how the government lied. So they said that he was killed. He was a hero. He was killed defending, saving such and such. It was a lie. He was killed by friendly fire, and it was done on purpose. They murdered this man. They murdered this man. Okay. They murdered this man. It wasn't just friendly fire. They murdered this man. Okay. So this in the post it says here. About Pat Tillman. It says former NFL star Pat Tillman was hailed as a hero in 2004 after he was killed by the Taliban, but it was a lie. He's been killed. He'd been killed by friendly fire, and while the shooting has since been described as accidental, some believe it was intentionally planned by the U.S. Army. Not only was Tillman shot 3 times in the head, but he was also shot at close range, and it was later determined that the Army had lied about his unit being ambushed by the Army. Eerily, all of Tillman's personal items had been burned, including his uniform and private journals. On top of that, rumor had surfaced that he was about to go public about his opposition to the invasion of Iraq and the war on terror in a televised meeting with Noam Chomsky, but this meeting never happened. Okay? And there's a link to the report on this. Okay? So, they don't like when the truth is being told about them. You have to understand. I'm talking about the dog triad personality types. Okay? And this is who these people are. They use people because we are expendable to them. They experiment on us. They lie. They create division. They sow hatred within the minds and heart of people. Okay? And we fall for it as a society and as people. We fall for it. Whether you're black, white, whatever, it doesn't matter. We fall for it. Okay? So, here's another article I posted that, again, it started with the gunshots. Okay? This was after, again, they started using the sirens whenever I clicked on a picture, and let's say there was a mother with her child on there, right? They do the sirens, what have you. So, when they like to use the pedophile theme on us as TIs. They love to do it. You're a pedophile, you're crazy, you're an abuser, you're a drug addict, this and this, all this stuff. Okay? So this article was written in 1992. Okay? This is how far back. Because again, there are people out there who know what's going on. There are people out there who understand that these people in positions of power, this is who they are, and this is what they do. And they will do projectionism. They will create pedophiles. They will create murderers. They will create domestic abusers in order to take the focus off of them and put it onto the person. Okay, even if it's a lie. Okay, this is what they'll try to do, and you must understand this and understand why does they do it. Okay, there is profit in the destruction of people. Understand this. There's profit in the death of people. Okay? Understand this. Alright? So, it says, professionals agree that pedophiles, sexual abusers of children often seek out professions or activities which bring them into contact with children. Largely unexplored is the role Christianity may have played in personally molding criminal behavior. Well, of course it does. Okay? When you're reading a book, and you so-called want to believe this book, you say this book is the true word of God, and it talks about taking virgins, right? And talks about women taking young virgins. At that time, you're talking about young girls. Okay, you know what I'm saying, young girls, right? And they also talk about, um, Mary, who was supposed to be a virgin. How could she be a virgin? She was married to Joseph. Things like this people don't really talk about, right? And then God had sex with her, so she wasn't a virgin. Okay, so please, come on. But again, people don't understand religion and what it truly is, particularly today, moderate religion today. Okay, so this is why all the priests, they're sexually abusing young boys, the pastors, evangelical pastors in the churches are having sex with young girls because they are doing what they believe is God's will, and it's in the Bible. So when people, particularly black people, react all outraged about, oh, if a grown black man is having sex with a teenager, right? Again, no grown person should be having sex with teenagers. But when it does happen, the outrage is like 1,000% high. Not understanding that the vast majority of states in America allow for grown men to marry children. Okay? But I understand how we are programmed as black people. So, researchers know that a typical child molester is a good Christian. Remember this. I will repeat it again. Researchers know that a typical child molester is a good Christian and often a church goer active in church activities. Why would this be so? Havelock Ellis wrote, in all countries, religion or superstition is closely related with crime. It should not be surprising that crime is connected to the religious mentality and its ideology. Such belief as original sin, the sacredness of gruesome Bible teaching, and inflexibility of moral codes, the solution of sin through confession, a lack of personal responsibility for one's action, and terrifying specters of a jealous God and evil devils. Religious doctrine encourages power inequities between women and children, and such inequities invariably lead to abuse. Christian doctrine emphasizes submission and teaches the exemplary Christian to follow like sheep and become as inner children. Matthew 8:3. The classic Christian concept that human nature is innately depraved and sinful may also be self-fulfilling prophecy. So understand what it is that they believe, okay? Because subconsciously, reading the Bible, this is what's in their mind. Okay, this is what I posted. Okay, teach her to love herself, and every time that there was and then now, as I said the word abuse, they hear the car honking, because again they will try to call you an abuser, right? They'll try to say, okay, you're an abuser. I've never abused anyone. I've never physically abused anyone. I've never sexually abused anyone. Okay, so they can say whatever they want, but again, they won't give you the opportunity to defend yourself. They may try to make you into such as TIs, but understand where this is coming from. It is the villainization of you and your mind, and they use the technology to turn you into something that you're not. Okay, and then they hide it. So if they can turn you into a villain in your community, that means that all the dirty, evil, nasty shit that they're doing, they're able to get away with it. Because people are going to follow their leadership. Because again, it's like a cult, right? Except you're talking about a super cult. Okay? So let me another post that I made too. Okay? Here the fireworks. Okay. Here's another video I posted on YouTube. It's called "Face of the CIA Supported Contra Support." So what the CIA was doing in Central America, basically installing regimes that would murder mass murder their own citizens in the sake of uh, American and Western corporate interests. Okay, so this is what they're doing. This is what they've done. They've continued to do this, and I continue to expose them, and they don't like it. Okay. So here's another article I post: New generation of white supremacists, killers, and this one here they did not like. All right. This is Stokely Carmichael, Kwame Ture. He talks about how the FBI and the CIA during the 60s, 70s were heavily into. They were using the local police to create a lot of crimes, and then whenever they investigate crimes that was happening, it was again to make them look good, like the good guys, right? But he was speaking the truth about the FBI and CIA. You guys should check out his video, okay? And then I posted this. They didn't like this. Again, it says, despite the usefulness of cell phone, be aware of its danger. Children, especially under the age of 10, should not have cell phones. If they do use wired or wireless headset. I said older children and adults should also use wireless headset. And this is the post that I made. I said, so Facebook is now limited when I can post. I can no longer tag any of my posts. And let me scroll down here. And if you guys think I'm playing, right? You don't believe me? I had to take a screenshot of this. Okay, it says we limit how often you can post, comment, or what. I didn't read all of that, but it kind of flashed up on my screen a couple times, so I had to post something again, tag people, just so I can take a screenshot, so I can show you guys. Okay.
I just said, "Cry, thank."
So this is some of the stuff that I was posting, and this is all there, right? This is what they were doing. And I said, listening to simulated sounds of gunshots, brick being thrown on the ground outside my window, and cans being thrown on the ground from my neighbor upstairs. This is what they've been doing all day. Okay. And then certain things, like I said, if I'm watching something, certain words are being said, and they would use the car honking or the siren. Now here's something that I want to talk about before I go on this video. So this is how they're trying to silence individuals who are family members whose individuals have been victim of police crimes, right, including murder. And what they're doing is basically giving people gag order so that they can't talk about it. This is we want transparency. Supporters of men who died being held in jail, restrained chair, alleged cover-up, unable to discuss incident footage thanks to gag order. So you see, this is what they're doing. This is what they're doing to silence people because they don't want people to know the truth, right? They're tired of the protests, okay? And talk about the social media surveillance by the U.S. government, and then I posted this. Many people don't even know. I didn't even know this. Talk about a secret cult in Manhattan, right? Of these white people who think that they're descendants of a master Aryan race. So when I talk about black people, we're talking about because we live in New York, we tend to get tricked and fooled, okay? Because we think the white supremacists are the ones in the South.
Thank God, holding my kids.
Waving Confederate flags and calling you a nigger. Just remember, right, that in liberal states and liberal cities, the majority of white people are racist, are white supremacists, and that's the truth. And because we live in big cities, we don't like to think of such, but that's the truth. Okay, so just wanted to share this because again, what it is that they're doing. Oh, also, and I watch a lot of tech videos, and whenever the word CPU is being said, and this is happening for a couple of weeks now, and I really trying to figure out what exactly it is. But every time I know what CPU means. CPU is a central processing unit. That's a computer processor, right? And so unless it's the Central Intelligence Agency have that, those three letters, the CPU, CIA, what have you, I don't really, or FBI, I don't really know. But anyway, this is what they've been doing, Okay, so you know, I'm gonna try and seek further clarification on that, but you never know. But like I said, man, this right here is, and they get away with it. They get STIs. Let me tell you something. They are getting away with what they're doing to us, and speaking up about it. Where I'm doing it, and speaking out, and the way others are doing it, speaking out. Um, sooner or later, people are going to realize the truth and understand what they've really been doing, and particularly within the black community, how they've been conditioning us to behave in a certain way. Okay. So anyway, it's really, really ridiculous, man. Let me see if there's anything else of this that I want to talk about.
It's for the first.
Because there's also something in here that they don't like. Here was there that I post that they don't like. Let me see. Oh yeah, and I posted this. This is a study, right? From Duke University, and it talks about how white people have plundered black wealth, and it's always been like that. From Black Wall Street, to the housing segregation, all these things. This is what they're doing, right? And they've been doing it. Is stealing black wealth. So when I talk about the biggest thieves, these people they've stolen trillions and trillions of dollars of black wealth. Okay, not just from since the days of slavery. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about subprime loan lending. We talk about high rent. Okay, we're talking about taxing black people, right? What is called the black tax. Okay, another thing is marriage. How marriage benefits white people as a couple, as a married couple, as opposed to benefiting black people as married couple, right? It's all in the tax codes. So yeah. So anyway, I guess that's it right now. But anyway, I'll speak to you guys in the next video.